Okay, we've got the truck warming up. Just waiting on Jess and Mom and Dad, and then we are going to go on what I think is probably going to be our last official day of barn tours. Probably, anyway, at least for the four of us. I know we'll have a few things to go look at yet, just to kind of fine tune a few things in the barn, but this will be the last one I think all four of us go on just to kind of get some of the last big ideas out of the way. So Perion, our feed company, our nutrition team, they're going to take us on this tour with a couple of their customers. And basically, the idea is to just see a couple of barns and a couple ideas that maybe we either haven't thought of, or layouts that are similar that maybe we can incorporate a few ideas in with theirs. That's basically what they're going to show us today. We can kind of take a look at those, fine tune a few ideas, send those updates to Nick, and then basically the barn is kind of ready to be finalized, and we can start applying for some permits, and basically we'll be all set. So that's step one, and then after that, well, I'm sure we can find another job to do yet. All right, our first stop on our farm tour day. This, actually, if you've ever had mountain oak cheese here in the province of Ontario, this is actually where it comes from. They milk with Lely robots. In this case, this is their newest robot, their fifth robot, to go along with some A4s. This is an A5. But what's unique about this, and actually the first we've seen that doesn't have a robot room. Most of the time we see robot rooms that, basically have kind of a man door to walk in. They're more sealed off. This one is just in the feed alley. It takes up so much less space. And for this family, works really well, they said, because they kind of put this addition on the end for some fresh cows and just fits really well with their design. Now, for us, I mean, it's a great idea, but for us, this more traditional robot room you can see in the background, there's a foot bath up near the robot. I think this probably fits better for us just because of our density and the heifers. We're a little worried about how cold they'll get in the wintertime, so I think we'll probably keep the robot room idea, but definitely a neat idea. The other one that we came to see was this gate. And basically what it is it's a remote controlled, kind of just like a car lock and unlock is about how big it is, a car fob. That basically, they can keep the cows on the one side, and then when they want to fetch cows and kind of keep them close to the robot, they just push the button and drop it down, and the cows can kind of wander through, and then they can keep it up. So kind of a neat idea, and definitely one that we kind of looked at from a design perspective. I think probably cost is going to get in the way of that one. Our second farm stop now. This is a fairly new barn, much newer than the Mountain Oak one, but lays out similar to the way that we're going to lay ours out, in the fact that this is a 6-row perimeter fed barn. Now, they've got 3 robots there. You can kind of see them spaced, with a black trim on the roof there. Those are their robots. Ours are going to be set up a little bit differently, but definitely similar. It was also quite interesting to see that the cats seem to get along in a new barn. The kids will be happy with that. Here's a walkway that we really liked, just from a perspective of it's got clean access to the robot rooms, so you can kind of walk across there. But then that flips up, and you can kind of move cows back and forth. Those gates will swing around pretty easily. You can move cows through. And then when you're done doing that, you can kind of drop it down, and it's got some nice steps to get up and across. That was definitely something. I think that you'll find in our barn. And of course, Lely robots again. Definitely something interesting. But what was unique about this robot room, and something that we're going to take away too, is see how it's set, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 inches down? Usually a Lely robot room is not. Usually they're level with where that cow stands. But in this case, they're not. I think we're probably going to do that. It keeps it tidier. The other thing is that was a high pressure wash line. So they keep the high pressure washer in the utility room in the milk house, and they've got all the high pressure lines into each robot room so that you can see how tidy it is in there. They can just bring the wand rather than carry the whole pressure washer. They can just bring the wand and wash it all down. So a pretty nice spot, and definitely that 5 or 6 inch lip is what we're going to have. And overall, just a really nice, well dressed up farm, this one. Ours might have a little bit of timber trim to it, maybe not quite like this, but pretty nice tour day. Nice weather, a day like this. Whether I've got stuff I should be doing inside or not, all of a sudden doesn't matter. I feel like I need to do something outside. And so today's job is cutting a tree down. This tree is kind of wedged in here. We got a grain bin, we've got here, the huts are there, but basically the big thing we need is we're gonna make a driveway straight through here down. You can see kind of those little trees there. We're gonna replant them up towards the road later on. But basically we need a driveway here because that bunker is gonna go down there. So we're gonna make the driveway here, we can get in and out. And this is just, it's just in the way. Plus we always are trimming it for the bin because it keeps heading towards the bin. I don't know, it's a nice tree and it's too bad, but we've just gotta kind of get rid of it. There, as soon as that didn't want to come the right way, I thought we better do it differently. But we're down in just the right spot. It worked out even though I'm clearly not a lumberjack. Gets wood, at least one pickup truckload done. We'll take it over to my brother and sister-in-law's. Both my brothers, they burn wood in their house most of the winter, so we'll just stack it in his shed. And then it looks like it's gonna rain, so our day may be cut short before we actually get all that cleaned up, but otherwise a little brush to clean up, that won't be too hard. And then that log, I think that that main trunk of it looks pretty nice. So I'm gonna, before we chop it up and burn all of it, I think it'd be nice to find out if we can actually do something with it.